How's it going, everybody? My name is Okami-san, and welcome back to part 3 of METROID Dread walkthrough for Nintendo Switch. So, if you guys recall in the last episode, we finally have defeated the second enemy in the game, but now we also are actually now gonna take on this new boss fight that we actually are going to come across right now. So you want to go ahead and head back to the top and head all the way right to the right corner. So as you can see, there are two pathways that are actually blocked by phantom cloak doors, so that we can actually not access there. So we're actually going to go ahead and head into the boss room. So you want to be careful, as this cutscene will actually play out, but this boss fight seems to be a little particular though. I wonder. No, it's a big guy. I'm kidding. Alright then, so this is actually going to be the boss fight known as Corpious. Corpious is a very, it's more like the easiest boss out of the other boss fights here in the METROID Dread, so I could say this is actually one of by far the most easy boss fight ever. So you want to be very careful, as it will actually initiate two attacks. One where it will like try to stab you with its tail, or the other where it will actually try to just spit some of its gut at you. Now as you can see, once you finish the first phase, the second phase will actually, this is actually like not really the second phase, but it's more like the Phantom Cloak phase. And I'll actually use the Phantom Cloak ability, which will actually make it invisible. Of course, once you've already defeated and taken out its tail, it will then break a wall, and it will actually leave out a magnetic wall to be able to, for us to be able to grab onto. Now it will go visible, but as you can see though, now it's trying to attack us. Now you want to go ahead and slide under to where it leaves an opening. When you do, you want to go ahead and counter it. Once you do, you want to go ahead and just keep spamming missiles, as missiles will actually do much more damage. Be aware though that this boss fight is not really very difficult. It's actually quite easy and simple, straightforward. Just if you just want to like watch how I take care of this boss fight before you actually attempt it yourself, you're welcome to do so. If you don't want to, you want to try doing it on your own before before I defeat it, I mean, you're welcome to do so. I mean, it's up to you. I'm not here to stop you. This is just simply a guy walking through what to do. Now, Corpious will actually do one attack. One where he'll actually spray some poison gas on the floor. Another one where he will charge right at you when you're hanging against the wall. You want to when you notice that he's about to charge, you know what I mean? He's going to attempt to actually ram into you in the wall. So he's going to go ahead and turn it into a Phantom Cloak. So you want to go ahead and just take away his Phantom Cloak ability, but just be careful, as it'll be kind of somewhat hard to tell, but it's very easy to tell what he's going to do next. Now, of course, it will be able to do the same attack, but once you take out its Phantom Cloak ability, it will initiate a second counter. But as simple as that, we're actually going to go ahead and spam some missiles, and we're actually going to be able to take out this boss pretty much easy without so much effort. And you know what? We're just about done with this boss. Once we defeat Corpious, we will now actually claim our prize, which actually will be the useful ability known as the Phantom Cloak ability. This ability is by far one of the useful abilities in METROID Dread when we were trying to escape the enemies, but however though, be careful, as right now we'll actually learn more about information about the Phantom Cloak ability. That's how it works, but at the same time, the best way to actually just use it is to just press the right stick button. Once you press down the right stick button, it'll actually initiate the Phantom Cloak ability. However though, this is actually pretty useful because we can get by things without being detected. However though, you still want to be careful, because this will actually drain your energy if the full yellow Aeon ability will deplete it. So as you can see here now, we pretty much already know what to do, but other than that though, it's pretty much settles it. By the way, I have my controls display up at the top of the board guide, so if you want to check out that, you can. And also, if you want to, then you can go ahead and check out the timestamps. So as you can see here, we'll actually be entering this phantom cloak door. So this will actually prevent us from going through without being detected. But however, to use the phantom cloak, you can actually get by it. Another useful thing I actually recommend doing is using the phantom cloak slide, because when you do that, when you first slide and then you initiate the phantom cloak at the same time, you'll be able to like get through the door a little quite faster. So I really recommend doing that. So we're gonna go ahead and head back to the same room where we actually couldn't access before. So as you can see, I'm actually going to go ahead and show my minimap where we're going to go. And it turns out I got kind of a little lost, but it turns out we actually had to go all the way that way to where there's guarded there was a phantom cloak door that we had to get through. So we're going to go ahead and head all the way to that direction before we can, continue on. And like I said before, if you want to like just skip ahead, you can just the timestamps. Alrighty then, so we have arrived at the new location known as Cataris. Cataris is an extreme hot temperature theme area in METROID Dread. That's actually most of the areas is extreme temperature. However, though, as you can see when we enter to the right, there's a room that's actually filled with extreme hot temperature heat, and we can't access there. So where do we go? So we want to go ahead, head back to the elevator, and actually head all the way to the left instead. There you'll be able to, by just shooting, you'll be able to like break some breakable blocks. Be careful when you come down here, because there will be some firewalls, some fire being shot out from the floor and also the walls. So you want to be careful. These enemies here are just robot enemies. You want to go ahead and do that a melee counter or just a regular counter when you get close by them. When they have like their pillars up, you want to go ahead and head into this room where actually we'll find our first computer room with Adam in Cataris.
Uploading data.
CPR appears to be powered by thermal energy. Magma is pumped from the planet's interior and routed from there. I have located the central routing system for the magma. It is here in Cataris. Samus, your current suit cannot protect you as you explore Cataris. The extreme heat of the lava is too much for it. Under no circumstances should you enter high temperature areas. I know the shuttle somewhere above here. Use it to find a path forward. There is one other thing to discuss. It is your new Phantom Cloak ability. The Phantom Cloak prevents the E.M.M.I from detecting you. Thus far, your only option was to run. Now, bypassing them is also an option. Use this to reach your objective. Note that using the Phantom Cloak severely decreases your mobility, and direct contact with an E.M.M.I will still result in capture. It is up to you whether to hold your position. Just be aware of your surroundings. The Phantom Cloak is useless. Once an E.M.M.I sees you, you will need to evade capture until it gives up pursuit. The Phantom Cloak can remain active after your E.M.M.I has been depleted. It will consume your life energy instead. Consider it a desperate measure. Remember, it cannot drain your energy down to nothing. Judicious use of this technique will improve your probability of survival.
So once you regain control of stamina, you want to go ahead, head all the way down and head all the way to the bottom. So as you can see here, you want to head to where the butterflies are. You want to head all the way down because there actually, there's actually going to be the area that's blocked where we need to go to. Once you head all the way down, you want to be careful as these enemies will actually attack you. Wait for the thermal door to open, and you want to head all the way straight to where that thermal station is at. To just change the thermal door. Once you do, you want to go ahead and head back. I'll head all the way back over here. But if you want, you can just destroy the block if you want to right now. But if you don't want to, that's okay. So as you can see here, I'm just kind of like I'm just trying to like slide and shoot at the same time, so it didn't work. So you want to go ahead and change the thermal energy station, and once you do, you won't be able to get back the same way as we could before. That's why there is the reason. By doing so, we are able to open up that thermal door without any problem. So you want to go ahead, head all the way to the back up, and head back to the same area where we try to access. You want to head down and head all the way straight to the left. Once you head to the left, you want to go ahead and head all the way to the left to where there's actually going to be a magnet wall that we can grab onto. Beware of the enemies, as these enemies can still hit you, can still hurt you, but it's best to just like run past them, because it's better to like just keep moving rather than just just taking your time and killing all of them. But like I said before, it's just best to avoid them. If you don't want to avoid them, I mean, like I said, that's up to you, but I rather just recommend just avoid them and getting by them soon. It's much easier. So as you can see, it's you just want to go ahead and like either use the Phantom Cloak ability, or you can, if you want, you can just spam shooting at them. But like I said before, it's just up to you. It's up to what you guys want to do. I'm just showing you guys where to go if you ever get lost. So you're gonna head all the way to your left, and just be careful with these enemies on the top. I'm gonna go ahead, head all the way slide all the way down to where we'll actually be able to get to this little area over here. Head all the way to the left instead, but just be careful, because there actually will be there's actually gonna be some enemies. But however, though, there's actually gonna be an area right over here where there's actually gonna be some hot temperature areas, and also be careful with these enemies, as these enemies will actually spit out like lava balls, as they're actually pretty much they can deal a lot of damage. So we're gonna head all the way up to here to this right door, and to the right enemy door. We're actually gonna enter the next enemy zone. Well, isn't that very surprising? Well, now we've actually encountered the first green E.M.M.I that's been introduced in the intro, and as you can see here, I'm actually showing you right now on the map. If you want to go back and like check where I am right now, just so that you can follow the direction, then you can. Like I said before, I will actually try to do this a little more often. I'm sorry if I haven't done it before, but I will try to like display my map where I am before we continue on. So you can see here, the green E.M.M.I is able to crawl through spaces. So you can see here, I wasn't careful, and I kind of got a little lost, but I was being careful. So as you can see, you want to try to maneuver around the enemy, try to make it come to the area where you want it to, so that it does, so its visor isn't able to see you. So as you can see here, I just kind of like panicked a bit, but however, that I was able to still get by without a problem. As you can see here, you just want to be very careful, and you just want to get through the area, and you just want to keep moving in general. Like I said before, you also want to be careful, because this green enemy is able to crawl through small spaces, and it turns out this enemy is actually going to contain the ability that we need. So we're going to head all the way to here to the top left, or we're actually going to head this way, where we will find this another thermal energy station, where we will be able to change it. If you want to like go back and like see where I went, then you're welcome to do so. So you want to be careful, because you want to make sure you want to wait and make sure that you know where the enemy is coming from, because if you don't, you can actually go head back inside into the door and just back out of the enemy zone, and just come back in until you feel safe enough to actually get through the enemy area without being detected. Like I said before, it's up to you, but my recommendation is to just keep moving and just reset the enemy's position if the enemy is very close by. However, if you want to be very risky and just like play risky by getting caught and just getting through it and still trying to make it out alive, that's up to you. But my recommendation, you just want to keep moving and don't ever stop, otherwise you will be caught. So like I said before, just defensive cloak ability, you do not want to be very dependent. It's very useful if you want to get out of tight positions, but it is not very dependable, because the problem is that some enemies that we will encounter later on in the game will actually be very difficult to deal with the Phantom Cloak ability, because the Phantom Cloak, as you recall, it actually will take away more Aeon than we would expect when moving. Okay, so when you get back to this room, you want to go ahead and take the magnet wall on the left. Once you do, you want to go ahead, head all the way straight up here to the top where the Phantom Cloak area is at. Once you do, you want to go ahead and head into the far left, which will change the thermal energy. And once we do, we'll be able to we'll actually be able to change it where all the lava will flow out. And once you do, you'll be able to, actually no, not all lava flow, but more like the door. I'm so sorry, I got a little confused. Alright then, so this will be the end of part 3 for METROID Dread. I'm sorry if I've been missing out a lot, but I will get back to developing a little more consistently. I'm Okami-san, guys. I will see you guys in the next METROID Dread video, and I hope you guys have a great day, and take care, guys. Please, and stay Gucci.